I've got a question for you. Well, it's a question that I often ask my students when I'm teaching in China. How many officially recognized ethnic minorities are there in China? How many officially recognized ethnic minorities are there in China? If you have worked in China before, if you're from China, I'm sure you have an answer in your head. What is it? Well, most of my students say 56. China has 56 officially recognized minorities. That's wrong. Oh, I said my trip to Guizhou. It's Summer and my trip. Hi, Summer. The correct answer is 55. 55 ethnic minorities in China. I'll get back to that later. But first, I want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jesse. Thank you for watching my video. Today, I want to talk about tourism, but specifically over-tourism, and more importantly, the concept of touristification. Have you heard of that one? Yeah, so Summer and I are going to Guizhou Province. We are going for a kind of a week vacation, 3 days in one ethnic minority hill town, the Dong people, and another 3 days in a hill town of the Miao people, and then last day in Guiyang, and yeah. My yet-to-be-answered question is, are these villages going to be the kind of over-touristed place that I really don't want to travel to? And more importantly, is it a case of touristification? In my last video, I talked about my trip in 2001 to the country of Cambodia and how raw and undeveloped it was, and how, frankly, amazing the experience was. I'm not expecting the same kind of experience here, even though the tourism in these hill tribe areas is rather nascent and new. Yeah, it's not going to be the same. My students this question: how many officially recognized ethnic minorities are there in China?
55.
Excellent student. Usually I ask my students this in China and they say 56, because there's 56 nationalities, ethnicities recognized, but one of them is not a minority. It is the Han people, which are 95% of China. We are headed to Guizhou Province in southwestern China. We're going to go to a couple of hilltown tribal villages, one of the Dong ethnic minority and one of the Miao ethnic minority. And I'm really excited. I also am hoping that the places are not too over-touristed, but more importantly, there's no real feeling of touristification there. I'm sure everyone is familiar with the term over-tourism, and it's really big now, especially in some European cities, Barcelona and Paris and Rome, where there's just too many tourists for the infrastructure to handle. I'm not really worried so much about that, not at all really, in this trip, but I am worried about this idea of touristification. And if you are not familiar with the term, just imagine you want to go to a place and see how the locals really live. But, they have included hotels and attractions and maybe events, local dances and shows and things like that really take you out of the authentic and into more of a tourist trap type of place. Also, stores, restaurants that may never have existed except for tourism. That would be touristification. So it's a little concern. But again, we are going to a place that is not on the beaten track for most tourists in China, but it's not remote either. I really love the train travel in China. It's so convenient. They have high-speed trains going everywhere. Right now, we're going 305 kilometers an hour, which is 190 miles an hour. And we will be in Guizhou from Wuhan in about 4 hours, where it probably used to take about 10 hours. Another question that I ask my students sometimes is how many high-speed rail trains are there in America? Do you know? Do you have a number? That's right. 0 would be the correct answer. I remember about 8 years ago, Summer was working in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was working in Carbondale in southern Illinois. And I would drive about 12 hours to go see her. And one time, I just wanted to see if there was a train that'll get me there. Where I lived in Carbondale, there was a train, Amtrak, that went from Carbondale to Chicago and then south, I think, to Memphis. And so I checked out the rail line to see if I could get to Raleigh. And it turns out I could, but it was 24 hours and 3 trains. 24 hours and 3 trains. That is train travel in America. No, I never got on that train. By the way, it's 531 miles from Wuhan to Guiyang, the capital of Guizhou, by air. Not sure what it is on the train. So 531 miles, and it takes about 4 hours. I'm really excited about getting to the Dong and Miao villages, and I'll show you guys that in future videos. On the topic of this ethnic minorities, let me just talk a little bit more about it. So there are 55 ethnic minorities after the 95% of people who call themselves Han people. The top minorities include the Uyghurs, the Hui. They are both Muslim communities. There's the Zhuang, the Tibetans, of course the Miao and the Dong, the Manchus, Koreans even, a whole bunch. The history of the Dong and Miao and the other ethnic minorities, especially in this area we're going to in southwest China, really fascinating. Let's just say it hasn't been harmonious for the entire time in China. About, in 18th century, I think a little in the 17th century, there was some real rebellion and strife with the Qing dynasty. I mean, some serious rebellion. I don't know if you've heard of the Taiping Rebellion in the 1850s, more or less. During that time, millions and millions of people were killed as they were kind of fighting back against the Qing dynasty. Interestingly, the people that we know as the Miao in China, we know as the Hmong in Cambodia. And so when you see a Hmong immigrant in the United States, a lot of them in Minnesota and other places, they're the same ethnicity, but a lot of them originated in China and then eventually fled to Cambodia and other Southeast Asian nations during this time of rebellion and strife and all this 200 years ago.
现在增加了一个副业门，看到吗？副业门。在塔里好多。在塔里是12点多。在塔里非常好。
Where was I? The personality of the train we're on just changed mightily. We got into Changsha, capital of Hunan province. We lost everybody and a whole new group came on, and the whole new group that came on, they're a loud bunch. Okay, back to the Dong and the Miao and the other ethnic minorities of southwest China. You just have to imagine that during the Qing dynasty, when they were very strict and very, I don't know, laying down the law, it was a tough time. And then at some point, the people who stayed obviously fell in line, and in return, the Chinese government basically let them be. They let them be, continuing with their folk traditions, continuing with whatever their cultural ways were. Even today, back when they had the one-child policy, they would allow people of these ethnic minorities to have as many children as they want. It's all very interesting. In any case, I'm not really going for the history so much as the current. Just wanted to give you some background based on my reading for my experience in Guizhou Province. Really looking forward to it, and I will make videos from there, and I hope you'll join me. By the way, the language in the background is not Mandarin, it is Hunan dialect. Alright, so I am going to end this video. As I said, I hope you join me in my future videos in Guizhou Province. Really want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked this video, please press the like button. Drop a comment below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Alright, till next time, catch you later. Bye.